Today marks week 2 of the bi-weekly protests in Kenya. The protests are instigated by the opposition Azimio la Umoja President Raila Odinga over high costs of living. The trend is proving costly to business.
Uganda is a high-cost importer, and any disruption causes trade issues, cost spike. And therefore, we need to always think of alternatives.
The Ugandan business community is affected, says Francis Chesrinya, an official at the private sector Foundation Uganda.
So, for instance, the Nairobi-Nakuru road has actually been blocked, and you know that is the artery. It is the road that Ugandans, the goods that are coming to Ugandans pass. So that blockage, if it has happened, know very clearly that goods are stopping, trucks are stopping to move, and therefore a truck that you would be expecting here, for instance, in a day, or could take a few more days, because the driver is also looking to see the situation so that they can only drive when they are sure that these goods can move safely. So there is already that is happening, and I'm sure it is going to cause disruption in supply of goods to our country.
Other private sector players are not different.
Our wish is that disruption is minimized so that trade flows. I think there can be an appeal to the leaders to find ways and means of dialoguing so that we minimize the disruption in trade and by extension disruption in financial flows.
This is what we are appealing for, that we must diversify our market so that when there is any disturbance or turbulence in one market, then you should be able to continue to survive because you have more than one market. So this is the desired objective, and we are trying to make sure that as we promote harmonization of standards, facilitation of intra-Africa trade, Uganda in particular should be able to make sure that it diversifies its risks of trading with more than one country.
Past skirmishes in Kenya have had dire consequences to landlocked countries like Uganda that overly relies on the Northern Corridor.
I believe for the individual business people, it is important for you to diversify and see what component of your cargo goes to the southern route, which is the route that goes through Dar es Salaam. We are aware today that the Dar es Salaam route, the government of Tanzania and the Tanzania Postal Authority is trying to improve this particular route.
So Tanzania gives us the multimodal, the sea, the railway, and the lake. So your Port Bell, Bukasa hasn't started, but Port Bell and the vessels that are there, MV Kawa or Umoja, should now be a little focused on afresh, just so that we have more capacity available on the lake. URSC now makes more sense with Tanzania Railways Corporation, but that's in no way at all. And so the multimodal, so you have that, and then you have Mutukula. Mutukula gives us Masaka and then the western part of Uganda.
The business community, therefore, must reduce the risks by utilizing other trade routes in the region. Tanzania's Central Corridor is the most viable.
It's often argued that when Kenya, the East Africa's biggest economy, coughs, the rest of the member countries catch a cold. The bi-weekly protests in Nairobi, Kenya have literally put Uganda on the edge. Dennis Igoa for UBC News in Kampala.